this afternoon by Chief John Fisher, the Bedford Police Department, Lieutenant Eric Gagnon from the Massachusetts State Police, and Adrian Lynch, my Chief of Homicide. Shortly after 9 o'clock this morning, Bedford Police received a 911 call from a resident of Washington Street. That resident reported that a young woman who resided in their home had just come back into the house and reported that she had shot her parents. The woman went outside, located a car on an adjacent lawn. Inside that car was a 56-year-old woman, also a Bedford resident, who was pronounced dead on the scene, and a 56-year-old man who was transported to a local hospital with life-threatening injuries. A handgun was recovered on scene, and the suspect, Jessica Cavallaro, Cavallaro, 11/20/99, was placed under arrest. Ms. Cavallaro will be going to court in Concord sometime this afternoon. She is presently charged with 1 count of murder, 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon causing serious bodily injury, and unlawful possession of a firearm. The investigation is obviously very new, and we are in the very early stages. So we'll have a little bit more information, although I don't expect much more at the arraignment this afternoon. I'm going to turn it over to Chief Fisher to talk to the residents a bit about what they can expect today. Chief.
Thanks. We'd just like to let residents and folks traveling through Bedford know that there'll be a high level of police activity, some road closures here on Washington Street and on Genetti Street here in Bedford.
And can we say that these are her parents?
That is our understanding at this point.
We can report that.
We have not confirmed that, but that is our understanding.
But that's what she said. That's what was reported to you.
That's what was reported to us.
And
yes.
Who was the other person in the home?
It is our understanding that Ms. Cavallaro is the significant other of another resident of that home.
So the parents don't live in that home?
Her parents do not live there. They do live in Bedford.
Okay.
But we think she lives there with this other person.
She lives here on Washington Street, yes.
So this is the daughter's house.
She lives in a house on this street.
But a different house?
Different from her parents, yes.
But not this house that these people have found at, right?
The car was found on the lawn of an adjacent house.
Is that the parents' house? We don't know yet.
That is not her parents' house. No, they live in another part of Bedford.
Okay.
And why were they here visiting today? Why were they?
That's all
together?
part of the ongoing investigation.
Had there been any tension that people told you?
We're really very early on.
Yeah, just to be clear, that address that came in was 11 Washington. That address, that home, has nothing to do with that vehicle and the people that were inside and the suspect, correct?
The car was found at 11.
Right.
But that car doesn't belong to 11.
Right. And
the suspect doesn't live at 11. No.
And doesn't have anybody related to at 11.
Not that we know of. No.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So 11 is
Jessica lives here, but her parents don't. She
Correct.
lives here with a significant other.
Correct.
Not married.
I don't know that.
Okay. And the parents live in another place. So
Correct.
This is Jessica's house, but not her parents.
Correct.
11 Washington Street is Jessica's house?
No. That's where the car was located.
Do we know the address of her house?
We do, but we are disclosing that at this point.
But you said adjacent to where the car was. The call came in
Close
here.
Close to, yeah.
Yeah. Can you just talk about how difficult these cases are? Another incident of domestic violence and so horrific for people to...
Well, as all of you know, I've seen you much too often lately. These are horrific incidents of domestic violence. They also point to what we talk about all the time, which is the prevalence of guns and the availability of firearms. Many of the incidents we've had in the last few weeks, last couple of months, have involved firearms in the hands of people who should not have had them.
Are the guns legal or illegal?
She did not have a license to possess that firearm.
That's important to state.
That's why she's charged with unlawful possession.
Has Bedford Police been here recently? Have they visited the home?
To the best of our knowledge at this point, they were not known to the Bedford Police.
How was the 56-year-old father injured? Was he shot as well?
He was shot as well.
Okay, but was able to survive, obviously?
Well, he has life-threatening injuries.
Yeah, were the parents arriving at the scene or were
We
they leaving the scene?
We don't really know all that right now.
And how did the vehicle end up on the other side of the road?
We don't know that either.
How did the call come in? Was it a neighbor who
The
reported
resident, one of the residents of the home where Miss Cavallo lived.
Is it the significant other that called in, or
Jessica's significant.
Just another resident of that home. Yeah,
So the suspect shot her parents and then went back into the house to admit
correct.
that she
That's
did
our
it?
understanding at this point, yes.
and did she say why she did it? Do we know
That's
her
all
mental
information that's part of the investigation. We might have a little bit more information, although I don't expect a lot more by the time we get to court. Yeah.
The victims were shot where exactly?
We don't know that yet. That's up to the medical examiner to inform us.
Can you spell her last name again?
Thank you. So
Spell her
the
last
next event will be at Concord District Court, hopefully sometime this afternoon.
Could you spell her last name one last time?
CAV